Welcome back to Distant Nights, episode 5 of the continuation, which is, overall, more than that. It might be 4, I don't think it's 4, because I've got stuff in folder for continuation episode 4, so I don't think so.
I've got last episode being 3.
Oh, it's because I didn't start at 0 for the character creation. I'm dumb. So this is episode 4. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. It's labelled 5 in my file structure because it's, brilliant. So, that aside, who wants to do a recap?
Fuck me. No.
Captain, please.
Fuck.
This is your job, you're the captain.
Captain, no, my captain.
Captain!
Captain's log.
If you're gonna manage my explosives, you're gonna need to do the recaps.
Captain's log, come on, make it the captain's log.
Yeah.
Yes!
Do it in the format.
Got down as the God Rolls episode due to the amazingness of the start of the episode, where the highest roll was 15 for the first half.
Yeah?
But, so, far as I remember, we flew through for a bit, came to a door. The key for the door was 24 zeros in a row, because creativity is Tom's genius ability.
It was taken from the US nuclear codes. You're welcome.
Alright. Flew through that.
It legitimately was.
Yeah. I know.
Got covered in dust when it started moving that door and all that after.
Yes.
Flew through that a bit more, came down, went into... What the fuck am I... My notes are making no sense here. 2 seconds.
And he's gone.
We flew through into a water pipe and landed. Came up with made up names that annoyed everyone.
Yep.
But came through to what looks like an abandoned tourist destination or some bullshit, or research facility or some shite.
Yeah, there's no difference between the two.
Yeah. And then sort of walked around there, found quite a few skeletons, quite a few centuries old. Sort of found a wee bit of information.
Do you remember what both those things were?
Which was a coordinate system, I believe, for the Vexalcan car system.
That was the worst I've ever heard that pronounced. Do you want to just actually read it and try again?
Bennet car.
Venzikar, but close enough.
Close enough. Better than the first one. So we left Bennet, the place, flew through everything again, and just docked to our ship.
Yes, and then spent a couple days travelling to Venzikar once you discovered where the coordinates led, which was probably there, and probably not galactic because, yes, it had the word Venzikar written across the top of it, and also gave you set coordinates, and if you overlaid it on there, you got an orbit, which would help, or would work.
Other thing was, we had a wee incident with a grenade, and yeah.
It was a landmine, but okay.
Was it a land? It was an explosive of sorts.
It was a flashbang.
Flashbang and landmine, and a lot of hot cocoa.
Yeah, a lot of hot cocoa. After
barely a flashbang, half a flashbang.
After Kit terrorized the ship for a wee bit.
I didn't terrorize. People asked.
Dude, I didn't ask for the landmine.
I provided a service that was asked for.
I mean, he's not wrong, but like, he is.
You're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
You're not wrong. You're just incorrect.
Yes, but actually, no.
Yes, exactly that. So yeah, you made your way to Venzikar. Someone is clicking, and Lewis, is that you typing? Is that snapping sound your keyboard?
Are that those Prince Albert rings?
Stop!
That's my keyboard.
Stop it.
Please don't.
Stop with the Prince Alberts. No one needs to think of that.
Yeah, that's just.
No one needs to Google that either.
Yeah,
like you did.
Better
anyway, so as you guys arrive at, yeah, I'm trying. As you guys attempt to arrive at as you guys arrive at Venzikar.
See if we've attempted. There's a problem.
Yes. So, where was it that you wanted to drop out in system? Are you gonna drop out on the outskirts of the system, or are you gonna do so in the middle of the system?
Where would give us less attention?
I mean, if you dropped out, like, way outside the system, no one would even see you there.
Yeah, I'm meaning a place where we can get to where we need to go with the least amount of attention.
Okay.
Would I just drop in where it's usually dropping?
Yeah, sort of that, but question is that more heavily monitored, or...?
The whole system is mostly actually paid attention to kind of from the outside, and also from the world of Twill. So, most of it, as long as you're not too close to Twill, no one, like, they will see you, no matter where you go, really.
Yeah.
Just because as a ship, you're going to be given off too many missions.
Sort of close to where we need to go then.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you just, what do you call it? Set the, like, coordinates for the in system with the, hyperdrive, and, yeah, you've returned to real space, this sort of, like, flash of white light, through the windows, and you look outside, and all of a sudden, you see stars are very slightly different, but you're kind of in the middle of deep space. There's a whole lot of nothing around you.
How close are we to the orbit?
Within tolerance, essentially. Pretty close.
Okay. Can I effectively just fly around that orbit that we need to fly around and...
Yeah. Unless you want to take what at this point would take you about 30 years to orbit, you might want to do that at warp. But you can do that.
Can I also activate a active scan? Or at least press the one in the beginning?
No. Do we want to active scan yet? We'll send out an active scan every so often, but not, like, constant.
Okay. That'll make it quite obvious you're doing a search pattern for something.
Oh, would it?
Yes.
Okay, so it would.
Could we just do, like, a
Let's do a pass without an active scan first. Just a passive, and then we'll try active after.
Okay. As you begin sort of flying around this orbit, essentially just using the warp drive component of the hyperdrive, and what do you call it, like, sort of flying around in a circle. One of the things about a warp drive is they're very, very sensitive to gravitational changes, and most warp drives are, like, built with some degree of consistency. Hyperdrive warp drives are not, because, not consistency, with tolerance, but hyperdrive warp drives are not. They're really sensitive, because you don't have to encounter that issue in hyperspace, and so there's no point putting the money into the warp drive to get it to be, you know, able to deal with some small gravitational changes. So you find that it is actually a little bit difficult to, like, continually travel, but only because after about, like, an hour or so of flight, it would take you about, like, 2 or 3 hours, I'd say, to get around the whole thing. And after about an hour or so of flight, you are pulled out of warp by the drive just essentially complaining that it's picked up something, some kind of object that's got enough mass to be generating a essentially detectable, but just detectable, gravitational field. Which it claims is ahead of you somewhere. It doesn't really give you much of a direction or anything, but it's like, something is interfering with my attempts to bend space-time I do not like. I have stopped working.
I assume Kid is sitting in the engineering seat, right? Probably.
They are whatever you want. You make them.
Yeah, but sitting in one of the cockpits.
Yeah,
it's more like if Lewis allows me to sit there or not.
There are 5 seats on the bridge, so you could be.
One that's sort of more dedicated to sensors if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're all the exact same.
Yeah, but if he allows me to sit there, I'm going to pull out engineering and sensors.
Okay, yeah.
Can I quickly comms Ray going, hey Ray, your perspective, can you come up here a second?
What's up?
I need you to look at stuff.
Okay, then I look at stuff.
Okay.
What stuff, particularly?
Just keep a lookout on the sensors and surrounding to try and find this ship. Because, you know, you've got good vision.
Okay, sure.
That's fair.
Should I roll?
Alright. Right, so you're not going to be able to detect it just currently. Are you active scanning for it, or are you passive scanning?
Can you passive scan it and also look out the windows?
Passive scanning is essentially looking out the windows.
Yeah. Look out the windows.
Yeah. Well, actually looking out the windows, I mean, I won't let you roll because you won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
And no chance of success. But yeah. So no, you look out you switch like the main view screen to like essentially external view, and you have a bit of a look around. But
can we flip on the light switch, like there's certain lights?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Technically part of a passive of an active scan. But yeah. No, there's nothing that you can see. But that you are looking maybe for something like the size of your ship or slightly bigger. At like 100 kilometers.
How about we just do a general active scan in the...
Would an active scan pick up the ship, even if...
An active scan is,
not...
like, imagine shining... It's like radar. Think radar.
Yeah.
You're, like, pinging out a thing that's detectable by them, but also it's way more likely to detect a thing, whereas passive scan is like looking. It's like an eyeball. It just picks up what's coming in.
Send a quick active scan out then.
So you could do that.
Or we just scan the whole system, like, basically do like a...
area scan.
But we're doing a whole system
local area scan rather than a system scan. Though.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to make an active scan, go ahead and do a... I still need to write fucking rules for this. I guess it would be wisdom with technical spacefaring.
Wisdom was technical spacefaring.
Yes.
Does anyone have a good wisdom? AKA...
I would have a +4 to that roll.
Yeah.
Yeah!
And this would count as perception, so your perceptive vision would count, Ray.
I have a wisdom of 0. Yay.
Should we just try anyways, just looking out the window?
Oh, well, you've looked out the window.
Yeah, we automatically fail, yeah.
Yeah, it's autofill.
Both Kit and Ray have a shot at this.
Yeah, because to some degree you're kind of reading the sensor data, looking for something in it.
3 of us have a shot.
Or
is that too many for you?
Yeah, 2. Because I think
two.
there is actually a rule in the book about it's like only 2 people can try a thing.
I can't remember if it was 2 or 3.
Yeah, no, it's 2.
Quick question, my wisdom counting in?
Yes,
yeah. So it's your wisdom plus any ranks you have in technical spacefaring, and it's an advantage for you. And Kit, that's an 11.
Yeah. It's all good.
I'm glad I pulled Ray up, because Ray can see.
That's an 18. Okay, so Kit, you at first can't like taking a look around. You at first can't really see anything as you're looking through the data. You do see that there seems to be like something. You get a rough vector for it. It's kind of like off the forward bow and sort of off to your right a little bit. And it's right on the edge of the like the warp generator's like range. So it's about like 100 kilometers away, where it's like picking up the space it's been compressing. But you can't really make out much about it. On the other hand, Ray as Kit sort of points this thing out, and you're also like looking at it. You see that, judging by it, appears to be a metallic object. Looks like it's got either a hole through it, or is somewhat transparent. Probably a hole by the look of it, and it seems to be like quite large, maybe 100 meters in length by not 100 meters wide, like maybe 20 meters wide, maybe slightly more in places. It's quite fuzzy, like at this range. But as you're sort of looking at this, you sort of narrow the scan down on it, and yeah, you're seeing this sort of kind of oblong-ish object with like maybe a hole in one end or both ends.
Is the hole hole like it should be there, or looks it like someone shot the ship?
It's hard to really tell. You're more seeing that there's a hole because you're seeing that some of your sensor data is like not returning any like coming back to you, and some of it in the sort of area around it is, and you can't really work out the exact shape of it. Just getting a rough idea of it.
I'm sending the vector over to Luke's.
Yeah.
His vector.
I'll slowly fly in that direction then.
Okay. Yeah, as you approach the object, you do...
I'll sort of approach slowly though, so we can get a better look before getting too close.
Yargon,
yes.
Does the ship have spotlights?
It would do, yeah.
When we get like within a kilometer, like basically when I assume that the spotlight would work out, I'll turn them on.
Yeah, they're not, like, they're spotlights, but a kilometer's still a long way. It's going to be that kind of range for them. Even ship-mounted spotlights. But yeah, you sort of, like, get up, like, slowly up closer, and you begin to see this object silhouetting itself against the stars in the background. And your scans begin to build resolution. And yeah, it does appear to be sort of metallic. It does have a few transparent places, and it also does have a hole in one end, and seems to be a split at the other end as well. And as you're approaching, it seems to be this kind of like, looks like a really, really old-fashioned space station, but it's well, it's dark, it's drifting. It's quite small. It has like, not so much the structure you're used to, where they're kind of built like regular buildings, but more the much older structure of almost kind of modular, like bits that have been stuck on here and there. And it's not really a design that's used very much these days, except for like outposts, which wouldn't really deserve to be here. But as you approach, yeah, you see this. It does appear to have a number of docking ports on like a raised like platform, essentially.
Does it have anything written on it?
Does it have any comms on it?
There appears to be no power on the station.
Can I roll a technical engineering to see when was the last time basically Bensai-Car when this would be the highest technical information?
Go ahead and...
When it, basically, yeah...
Yeah, that'd be historical, I'd say. Historical spacefaring, technically.
Yeah, just a 5.
16. Okay. A very long time ago. Maybe. This is beyond the First Stellar War level of old. So, like when this was the height of technology, that at least design. You can't tell too much about it just from the design, because it is a design that is still used. But when there wasn't really another type of design, it was, you're looking at maybe 150,000 years ago plus. So
does that fit in somewhere in the timeline that I put in with the gun and the ships?
No, I believe not, because they were they seem to be beyond that, but before the Draconians and the Freyans joined the Alliance. And yet, somehow ahead of what they should have been.
Just quickly.
Yes.
Can we have a quick pass around the ship to see if we see anything of note of it? Like any names or anything?
Yeah, as you pass over it, there doesn't appear to be any name on it, but printed in large, like white, like kind of stencil outline letters on one side is just like hashtag 3745.
3745 was that?
Yes.
Okay.
3745.
Quick scan for life or anything like that, or do our sensors not do that?
Yeah, you would be able to. It being basically included in the sort of passive scan, but you don't. The scan's already done as you sort of got closer. But
Yeah.
It's not picking anything up. No.
Do we pick up any atmosphere in the station?
You'd have to dock to it to find out.
Okay.
Speaking of docking, can we try and dock?
You can.
Or
In fact,
could we dock with a station with no power on it?
Yeah, it can be done. The docking is shipside for that exact reason. It's all the powered mechanisms are on the side of the thing docking, because ships do lose power. That does happen, and you need to be able to get to them. And so, yeah, it does seem to be using a standard port, which is interesting. Although, as you approach it, it's not like the dimensions are the same, and most of the things are the same about it. But as you sort of hear the like clunk sound of your ship actually connecting to this port, this docking port, it does seem to be not just an old port, but it's also not giving you any of the readouts you'd expect. It seems to be a really old version of the standard port. You're essentially connecting a USB like 50 into a USB 1. Like, it works, but there's a lot of stuff missing.
What information do we get?
None.
Okay.
You are docked. You get that, but essentially there would normally be a load of like ports that would connect, that would allow you like a camera on the inside, as well as atmospheric sensors and a few other things. That's how you tell if someone's got an atmosphere on the inside. But you're not getting that.
So we're not aware of whether there is like breathable air or anything.
It's not showing up now. The only thing you do get is the one main connection, which is just the one to open the doors. You can open the doors.
Right. Question: if I were to go into a space station where there's no atmosphere, presumably I should be fine, right?
You could survive for a limited time, yeah.
Limited time.
Yes.
Due to
or it depends on the conditions. No atmosphere isn't going to affect you. However, if it's not rad shielded, if the temperature is like minus 273 Celsius, you're going to have problems with air.
What about? I'm still having issues.
What about using a spacesuit?
That would sort of nullify most of those.
Can I get into my spacesuit and I'll head over first?
You can.
You said most of those. Which one would it not nullify?
Well, any of them that include the fact you don't have a spacesuit.
By the way,
no. What I mean is that like if not Charlissandra, Lexie goes in with the suit, what could affect her?
I mean, significant radiation leaks or a lack of rad shielding would still affect her. But a spacesuit essentially has like some radiation shielding, but it's not the best. Right. You don't want to be out there for long periods of time. Yeah. And near a reactor leak or anything, it's not going to help you at all.
I also have some mobility if things go wrong with a wee jetpack sort of thing.
Also, that will help.
Do you have like a Geiger counter or something on inside the?
I would imagine the spaceship has something like that.
Yeah, they've got rad counters.
Yeah.
Can I go with you?
Yeah, you can come with if you want.
You do have an airlock. One side doesn't have atmospheric sensors. I will say essentially the inside of your airlock does.
Yeah. That's the thing.
The one on your ship side, so you could just open the doors and see if atmosphere comes in.
Oh,
that is the thing.
In fact. Yeah.
That is the thing you could do.
Just basically, just cycle the. Cycle the airlock once. Basically.
Yes. You can absolutely do that. So you basically depressurize it from your side and try to repressurize it from the other side, and it begins to read that there does appear to be an atmosphere. Is you get pressure regulate coming through, but it also indicates that the atmosphere there is toxic. It's more or less completely carbon dioxide.
Oh.
Okay.
So I should be fine, right?
Yeah.
Do we have rebreathers or anything like that?
Rebreathers wouldn't be uncommon. I would imagine you'd have something like that in your. Along with the, they would probably come with. They probably come with the the
suits.
The bubble emergency EVA suits. Probably got
Hamster
rebreathers
balls.
in the same box.
So
Yeah, the hamster
rebreather,
balls.
everyone take a rebreather and we should be fine.
Yeah, it also registers that the temperature is a significant drop. It appears to be about like -5 Celsius, but it's not freezing. Well, it is freezing, but it's not.
I wanted to say, that's freezing.
No, it is frozen. It's not
Yeah.
murder you instantly temperature. There you go. But you are going to be walking into a freezer.
Yargon.
Yes.
I don't know if I need to roll a engineering or an additional one. But would I know kind of some of the ports, like some of the ports that would be used in this kind of like data connections in this kind of station?
There's how so? Do you mean for like a station that's as old as you think this might be?
Yeah, basically, Keith
Right.
wants to try to figure out, like, basically take his comlink,
Yeah.
what do
Okay.
you call it, and basically connect it in so we can get some data, and basically just need to send.
Yeah. It really depends. At the age this is, there was no unification, so... well, there was no unification, at least... You're looking at something that, especially where it is, in Venzaikar, it might be a Dulac station. A Dulac station, at which point you would be using, like, any of, like, 1,000 different port types. They didn't have any kind of unification between them, between all the different manufacturers. Whereas the Terrans had developed unification at this point, and so you could be using, you could be looking at Terran standard ports, and then the Alliance standard port would then be developed thousands of years later, essentially.
Do we have any old Terran standard ports?
You wouldn't keep them, no.
Can we make
Just
some
take your
release
travel adapter.
Yeah, basically, can I make an adapter to make it basically? If
You
it's
could
Terran?
make some, but it would take some time. It would take like an hour or so to make.
Putting
So
out
you'd-
some,
you'd have to
Isn't-
basically print one.
Endian rather
Isn't
than big Endian.
Theo Terran?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Would
well-
she have some of her stuff left?
No, Old Terran is like 100. This is ancient archaeology stuff.
Okay, right. Never mind. I mean, she could still have it, but that would be unique to her.
Well, it was just a thought.
Yeah. If she has anything like that, I imagine it's in her kit. It's not stated.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be something that's very unlikely, in truth.
Right.
Especially as Pure
So-
don't use them, so that's what she focuses on.
Right.
Yes, Lewis. Sorry.
So, just to be safe, I'm going to head over in my full armor.
Uh,
In my space suit,
Right. Okay.
to check the atmosphere to make sure nothing surprises us when we get across.
Okay.
And then once we cross, I'll come back and get changed into my actual armor, if everything goes okay.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you step up to the airlock, you recycle it back to your atmosphere, step in, cycle the airlock again, and the door at the other end like slowly creaks open, and like now up close with it, you can see that there's just, it's not so much rust because you don't really get rust in space, but it does look like the airlock doors were welded shut until you opened them by turning it on. You can see the distinct tear marks of cold welding all along them, which happens. And you also see that there's all sorts of like corrosion across them. They are very old. There's like pock marks from micrometeor impacts and all sorts of just damage to them. They have the wear and tear of something that's really old and has been floating through space for a long time, which is something you're familiar with.
Are there any data ports?
Not on the doors.
It's like, see if you can find any data ports.
But yeah.
We'll see. Let's see if we can even get onto this ship without any issues first, shall we?
It looks like a space station from the outside.
I think I
Did
don't.
the door
Oh,
open?
sorry.
Yeah.
Ship.
Yeah, I'll come back and get in my armor, and then everyone goes over with rebreathers.
But yeah, as
Do
you
something, Lilo?
had a look through, there doesn't look like there's anything out of the ordinary. You enter into a small room that has 4 what look like elevator shafts, lift shafts maybe.
Elevator lifts.
Yeah, sorry, I Americanized for a minute. There's nothing else there. There's just...
Gravity.
No.
No gravity, so we're floating.
Yeah, it does appear to be floating.
Okay.
But I believe you have mag boots on your thing.
2 of us,
everyone
no, 3 of us has got mag boots.
On
The
your
rest are
armor
gonna be
currently.
floating.
Because fucking Lewis
But yeah.
was a cheapskate.
No,
Right, so
because
I
was
don't-
me, Lilo, and I think sorry, me, Ray, and I think that was it. Went to buy the armor. No one else came.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cheap.
Wait, did it?
Yeah, I think Charlissandra was with you?
Yeah, and also
I think so, yeah.
Charlissandra.
Yeah, because it
So
was...
that's why we're the only, like, they're fitted. We can't really just say, oh, here's your side, because I'm not creeping have those things on my
Yeah,
body.
unfortunately they are. They are. He's right.
I know.
Okay, kid, make sure you don't lose grenades. Please.
Never lose grenades.
How's this armor called again? Because I'm not sure if I've written it down.
EVA suit.
Oh,
Extra
yes. Okay.
vehicular.
Activity.
I know.
Yeah, I'm also just FYI, I'm gonna take my war kit.
Okay. The full war kit or like the light war kit?
I guess
Oh, fuck's sake.
light, which I'm gonna.
Right.
Nah, I'm gonna go full war kit.
Okay. Okay.
I'm also gonna, but I'm gonna leave half my grenades in the ship.
Okay. Yeah.
By the way, how do Draken EVA suits work with the wings and all?
So basically, it's an EVA suit. It has like covers that go over your wings. You can't extend them. They're kind of cramped. Your wings are kind of essentially in a bag. But and you can't like extend your wings. You've just got these sort of like points that stick out the top of your like behind your head, where you have to keep them retracted, and they're like the top stick up. And it's sort of like a rigid structure that your wings go in. It's
okay.
not comfortable. But, you know, EVA suits are not known for being comfortable.
Quick question.
Yes.
Can I take the old Dulingui book from the scientist with me?
Theo.
From Theo.
Theo, yeah.
Yeah, I believe Seraph had them, so you can...
I thought she already picked them up when she was studying them, so I just assumed...
Oh, yeah,
that
actually,
just take
sorry,
them.
yeah, you did. So, yes, you can.
Okay, sure.
Are you sure you want to bring that with you? Like...
It can't hurt in case we find any more old Terran.
That's...
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, we might have to figure our way to the generator or something like that.
The Delinquent book's absolutely going to help you when it comes to Old Terran.
Oh, sorry, sure.
That's-
Old Terran one, not a Delingui one.
Yeah, there's languages that are, you need a Rosetta Stone to translate between them, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, just... I mean, look, so if you want to keep it on you, then just make sure you don't get it destroyed, otherwise Theo's gonna dismantle me. So...
We are in the Venixai car system, so I suppose there is old Dulingui somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah, for sure, but...
Can't hurt. Right.
Can
Yeah,
we also
just
click
like
on
it,
the
I feel.
net, I guess? Like download like a translation thing?
Get like a translator app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have it
it's-
downloaded, like downloading on the ship's hard drives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can get a translator app. I mean, think about like all the like camera translator apps you can actually get for a phone one day. You could get something like that.
Google Translate and all that, yeah.
Yeah, it won't be completely accurate. It will never be as good as someone who speaks the language.
Yeah.
But it might pass.
Get that, and right.
It
By the
is.
way,
It is a bit like. Sorry, just to cut you off, Lewis, but it is a bit like being like, hey, this is Latin, and it's like, are you talking like late Latin or like early Latin? Because there's going to be some differences. So it depends on when this is from and stuff. But it will have a bit of. It will help at least a lot.
who's got mag books, by the way? It's just me, Ray, and Liz.
Yes, I believe it is.
So Seraph,
Yeah.
Kit, you don't. So do you want to
Yep.
tie a rope between your waist and one of us?
Yeah, we just drag you behind us like a balloon.
Well,
Just-
okay. So the
Because
function of a
otherwise-
mag boot is just to stick against a surface.
basically, it's like a magnet that
That's correct.
when you try and lift your foot, the magnet, it's an electromagnet. When you try and lift your foot, the magnet disables so that you can take a step.
Right. Wouldn't it fuck with me, like in some way? Because magnets and robot. No? Okay.
Magnets do not fuck with
It will wipe all your memory banks.
What's the skill? I guess, assume Kit has some sort of training in zero G, like emergency at least from the military. But
it would probably be under agility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be under agility. I should probably make a skill for that. That's a good point. I will add that to my notes actually right now.
Synergy? What were you talking about?
Zero G maneuvering.
Zero G would be under.
Zero G fighting. That stuff.
Right, fair.
Right. So, do you want to attach a rope or do you want to go without?
I'm gonna go without for now.
For now, yeah. I like my mobility.
Yeah. If I get stuck in the middle of somewhere, I always have my wife who help me out.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
What?
Oh god, you brought the waifu with you. Okay.
Hold on. I'm just to clarify, I'm not the waifu, right?
No, the waifu is
It's his biggest gun.
The waifu's a Z3 chain laser.
Right. Okay. Cool. Just make
waifu on the side.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Does it actually say waifu on the side?
Oh my god!
Does it look like yes?
Does it have an anime livery?
Nope.
Oh.
It's the opposite of animal loving a human. This is interesting.
Anime. I said.
Yeah.
It does not have an anime. If anything, nah. It's like it's just like as it came.
Yeah. I feel like it's
yells Sugoi every time you fire it.
You know what? No, I was about to say I feel like it's like kind of damaged, but no, it wouldn't be. No, it would be an absolute fucking pristine condition.
Besides the scratched in waifu.
Nope. That's like a really nice like silver plaque.
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, he really cares for his waifu, so it'd be in like the best condition. Yeah.
Is this like he looks like trash, but his gun looks pristine?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's missing half his ear. One of his ears gets like chewed on regularly, but like the gun, oh boy. So yeah.
If you want to anger him, it's like scratching someone's car with your car keys. You just scratch his gun.
Yeah, except when they blow up at you, his is going to be a lot more literal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you you'll take a rebreather. Is anyone actually going with a full spacesuit? Because you can use mag boots without the rest of the suit. Because they're the boots.
There's not really a need for a full spacesuit, right?
No, not to your knowledge.
How bulky are the spacesuits?
You wear them or you don't. You know how bulky modern day spacesuits are? Like that, but like half the bulk. So like kind of bulky. You can't. It's a spacesuit. It's not.
It's like a uniform.
Seeing it's quite a comfortable, she wouldn't wear the full spacesuit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like our kind of the ship's kind of power supply. What does that run on? Some exotic material? Is it batteries?
So the ship's power supply would be a fusion reactor. The ship.
So ridiculously high output.
It's got a pretty decent output. Yeah. That said, a lot of things use an awful lot of power. It's got a fusion reactor. It uses its fuel to then create energy. The fusion reactor is usually only turned on when the engines are, though. Outside of that, when the engines or the warp drive are on, or the pipe drive, essentially, outside of that, it's usually running off capacitor power, and then it will boot the... Like, you don't have any control over the reactor. I mean, well, you do. You could, but most of the time you don't touch it. It does its thing, and it will keep the essentially the capacitors, which are just like huge banks of energy crystals.
There's no batteries like lithium ion or whatnot.
It's energy crystals, but it's essentially the same thing. They're just more efficient.
How I'm assuming that would be close to the center or something.
It's between. It's actually close to the rear of the ship, where there's you've got the circular section where you've got a turret mount on each side, directly between the engines. It's right in the middle of that. It's right in the middle of the kind of where the engine assembly would be.
Do we have any extension cords, and can we get like
Yeah.
Like basically, like an output where it's like minimal charge to the station, basically, effectively, so we have lights on.
That would be a thing you could do, yes. You would have to find essentially an inlet in the station.
Yeah.
But if you found one, you could probably do that, yeah.
Also, can we tell whether there's any gravitational pull? Like, is there a gravity well in the spaceship or not?
In the station?
Inside the station, yeah.
In the station, no, Lexie went in. There's no gravity inside the station.
Yeah. Right. So we can kind of push ourselves around.
Yeah, you can float around.
Right. Okay. But yeah, 0G moving. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lexie, if we find an inlet, then we might want to consider at least getting some power into the station.
An inlet, I'm assuming by that you mean like a wall plug sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a wall plug, but like it accepts power instead of puts power out.
I mean, it wouldn't go.
Oh God. Like, if we find one,
exist.
Yeah. But
yeah, they do exist because obviously emergency powering things is sometimes required, but they're not everywhere. Like your ship will have some.
Do we have a map of this thing, or can we get a sensor map of this thing?
Your sensors seem to be unable to get mostly through into the inside, or at least most of them are.
Yeah.
Whatever it's made of seems to be quite resistant to sensors.
Is there any chance that it could be made of lead or something like that, just to retain the radiation?
It could be. You don't know unless you actually basically have a look.
Did Lexie's suit go off?
It didn't read any abnormal levels of radiation on the inside now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I've got mirror shades if I remember correctly. Can I shove up a wee display of the radiation levels through them and just head on over?
Yeah, okay. I will alert you if you encounter anything that comes over sort of your standard, to the point where it would alert you. Yes. Okay.
I assume we're heading. There's nothing else.
Yeah, you step into the space station. You enter into what appears to be a room with 4 elevator shafts in it. Each elevator shaft has an interior size of about 2 meters by 2 meters and an exterior size of about 4 meters by 4 meters. It seems to be big, thick shafts, and that makes sense. The room you're entering in is raised up so that your ship can easily dock to it, and it seems to have the 4 shafts that actually connect to the main structure of the station below. And you have a look around. There seems to be literally nothing else other than the 4 elevators, each with a single button on them.
I'll press one of the buttons to see what happens.
Open. Well, actually, yeah, nothing happens. You'll be like, yeah, open door. No, it doesn't. There's no power.
On this level, or
is what? Sorry.
Are the elevators on this level, or are they like closed door elevators rather than the screen door?
It's like solid metal doors.
Can I attempt to pry it open?
Yeah,
okay.
can we pry them open?
You can try and pry one open. Yeah, go ahead and make Right. It would be just a strength check.
Right. Who's going to assist me?
I'll assist you, but they should be pretty easy to do that.
Okay, go ahead and make a. They're probably airtight doors.
Airtight.
Elevators that go through an external shaft, usually airtight for, breaches case.
Oh, is this an external shaft?
Yeah, it's slightly external. It's not much, but it does go external for a little bit.
Oh, that's the wrong fucking thing. Trying to roll a stat instead of do a thing, or is that the same thing?
I think they're the same macro. But use roll a stat.
Submit. That should do it, I think.
13.
Okay, 13.
13.
Yeah. It's tougher than you expected. And as you sort of begin to try and pry some of these doors apart, it does match your expectations for an external elevator shaft. But yeah, you pull these doors apart, and you see what appears to be sort of like a cable in front of you as you pull the doors open. The shaft like walls where the doors are and the mechanism is actually quite thick, but you see the cable that would support the elevator on the inside. like going down to about, I mean, what you would maybe guess is like halfway down where the elevator seems to be stopped.
Right.
But it's not one cable even, it's like 5 cables, but you see them and they seem to loop up and does seem to be taut.
How far down's halfway down?
It's maybe like 5 meters.
Oh,
Okay. Can I walk along the walls down to the elevator?
Yeah. You can absolutely do that. So yeah, you begin to
Is there
head
anything
down.
upwards?
There is not, no. The cables seem to disappear into the ceiling, as if they're going into like a pulley.
Can I hold on to the cables and then kind of like slowly pull myself down?
Yeah, you can pull yourself down. And you guys begin to sort of make your way down this elevator shaft. Like shining like there's no lights in here as well, so as you step in, you have to like pull out like turn on flashlights essentially.
I'm gonna have my blade out.
Have like flashlight.
Yeah, you've all got flashlights.
Yeah.
They're
In that
common
case,
enough.
Alright. No, not blade.
And the basically, like mine is basically just really powerful flashlight.
Yeah. But yeah, you sort of like pull your way down, and yeah, you reach where it appears to be like the elevator cart is stopped, and you see the mechanisms of where the cable is like affixed to the top of this this cart.
Is there a top hatch?
There doesn't appear to be a top hatch, no.
Well, to blow it.
We've not went far enough down to, like, see another door or anything.
No, there've not been any other doors so far.
Right.
To blow it.
How heavy would one of these elevators?
Quite heavy.
Right. Never mind
It's
that.
an elevator. I mean, judging by it being an elevator, you probably would also have to fight whatever machinery moves it up and down.
Other note. Right. So we literally just came down a shaft and got to an elevator, and it's just effectively a wall in front of us. Or is there any way around the elevator or anything?
No, yeah, it does appear to be essentially, it's acting like a wall in front of you, yeah.
Yeah.
We could cut the wires.
Maybe not
After
the
cutting
greatest.
them, we've got no way of moving the elevator afterwards.
Push it. It's zero G.
It's too heavy for us to push it.
Is there like no like door on the top of the elevator? Some sort of like
Yeah, no,
escape
there's no
Yeah.
top hatch.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Yeah.
No top
Can
hatch.
we see if it's at a level effectively?
Yeah, sort of. Essentially, you can't tell exactly, but it doesn't look like there's anything that would indicate it is.
So
Could I try to like cut my way into the elevator? Or is that just like
You've got a plasma blade, right?
yes?
You can certainly try.
Okay, I'm going to flick out my hat.
We can use
As
that.
he does that, can I quickly jump up like a meter or two just in case something happens and stick myself to the wall?
Yeah.
Same.
You step back.
Gonna-
The rest of you at the top of the shaft, or has anyone else followed them down?
I followed him down when.
Okay, so
I
you're-
fell down. I'm going to like just step aside so I don't. If the
Yeah.
wires snap and something happens with the wires, I'm not going to get cut in half.
Fact, can
I
Okay.
am not cutting into the wires intentionally because
how
that
much
seems like trouble.
tension's in
Yeah.
the wires?
What, sorry, Lois?
How much tension's in the wires?
Well, they're taut.
So they're actually taut.
Yeah, they're sort of taut. You don't, like, they look straight, but you can't tell if there's much actual tension on it, because essentially it's like a steel rope type wire, so it's not something you could flick and vibrate to really tell how much tension's in it.
Well, you
I
could
mean,
push
I
it,
mean,
couldn't
kind
you?
of went down.
Yeah, but it's sort of the point, if it's too stiff as a thing for you to really be able to do that by hand, to tell how, like, it's not gonna bend whether it's like completely taut, or if it was just a piece you had in your hand, it would be like a piece of rebar. Be hard to tell.
Do you want to leave the shaft and check or just effectively damage one of these things and take the tension off definitely?
Nah.
And then deal with this down there, because
So we
if
have
one
got
of
it.
these goes, we're dead. If there's enough. tension on them.
Well, I wasn't gonna cut into the wire regardless. I was just gonna cut it into the top of the elevator.
Go through the roof. Come on.
Yeah, I doubt that's going to make it shoot up or shoot down.
Alright, I'm still going to leave the
yeah.
shaft just in case.
Okay. Alright, so...
Oh god, please don't tell me I'm gonna have to roll a new fucking character.
Well, we'll see.
I'm going to cut open the roof, or at least attempt to cut open the roof of the elevator. Not touching the cable at all, and just trying to aim for things that don't matter.
Okay. So you flick out your plasma blade, which, as I say, it's like the outline of a blade made of metal, and then this sort of plasma like sheaths around it as you turn it on, and you begin to like slowly push it against it. You do find that obviously it's not.
Does come out of my room, though.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Yes, it does. It's not a lightsaber, so it doesn't just go straight through the thing. You actually have to sit there for like a minute to like get the metal to like heat up, and as you push it through. It's quite a slow process. But you do manage to start cutting into this, like, what appears to be, like, quite solid, and eventually you feel it, like, come through the other side, and you begin to start slowly working it around. I need you to make me an endurance check as this heat begins to,
Right. Well, it's a good thing.
It's just the heat from, like, basically having your arm stuck through a piece of molten metal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, not your arm, but, like, a thing attached to your arm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's muted. Nice.
Well
Sounds
done.
lovely.
It does.
Oh, fucking great. Why?
Were you also muted?
Is that a 5?
No, that's 5.
Unless you have disadvantage.
That's a critical fail.
Is that a super crit fail?
Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, that art was...
I like this character.
I'm
I love
glad I
it,
left
but-
the elevator shaft now.
I'm also, glad I didn't get invested yet. Let's go.
So, yeah, as you begin to feel your arm beginning to sort of, like some of the circuitry in your arm and the wires and things beginning to heat up and overheat, and your fingers begin to start like spasming, and you have to pull your arm out and let it cool off, which of course gives the rest of the elevator, the lid of the elevator, time to dissipate the heat as well, and basically completely. You've got like a small slit in it, and you could continue, but at this rate, it's going to take you quite a long time. If you want to do that.
Can I look through the slit?
Yeah, you.
I'm gonna just like.
I mean, you see the floor of an elevator, but you can't really see.
Knock FBI.
There is move aside, and I pull up my beamer.
Can't really see beyond just a small between. Sorry, you can't see beyond just the floor of the elevator, just because it's relatively thick metal, about 6 inches thick.
I'm gonna push Seraph aside and pull up my beamer. So
You just call him Seraph.
I just called Seraph.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
Seraph.
But still, Seraph. Yeah.
Drunken Bane.
I mean, he did do a Seraph. He stuck his valuable sword into a thing that maybe wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
Huh.
I never got it out again.
To be fair,
That was fucking hilarious.
Not
Yeah.
nearly as bad as I thought that was going to be.
It's a super critical failure. It's not like, oh, you die. It's something really doesn't work.
Yeah. Right.
Can I
At least
also
you didn't
check?
stick your sword that doubles damage 1 in 8 rolls on a fucking sovereign glue, like a genius.
Can I check whether any of my components are like completely busted to the point where I might need to replace them at some point, or?
You've probably taken the lifespan on some things down, but not broken anything just yet.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, I was like, wait, your component's completely busted, but in my head I confused the words components and companions.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
Rick,
I'm
you're
so
broken.
compassionate. I need
he's
to
gonna
check
need you
whether everyone's
replaced.
okay. Yeah.
Yes, Hex.
My sleep mode is broken. I
would-
sometimes enter it
Would a
without
beamer work?
prompt.
It might do, but you
Would it
just...
take long?
It would take quite a while, yeah, because you'd have to basically slag through this.
I'm gonna pull out one of the explosives that I already rolled into like a long piece.
Okay. Hex.
It's
I
like
will mention, you are in an elevator shaft that is an external elevator shaft. It does go, like, the walls of the elevator shaft are space.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to die.
Well, Do you tell us you're doing the kit?
I'm like, it takes too long, I'm gonna fix it. That's all he's gonna say.
Is that all you're going to say?
Yep.
Well, with that, I am retreating to the ship.
I am going to fucking get out of the elevator shaft as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, like, that's yeah. We should probably get back to the ship.
You guys will make your way back up to the ship. Are you, Kit? You're planting this, I assume, as shape charge.
Yeah, basically a shape charge.
Okay, so this is
like a line, like basically a hatch shape.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that gonna like compromise the like infrastructure or whatever?
It might do. A shape charge means it's more likely to basically just bust a hole in the thing he's trying to break and not affect anything else. But it's also an explosion in an elevator shaft, so who fucking knows?
Can I get someone ready to stake with the airlock, and I'll get ready to.
I mean, Charlissandra will probably like.
Can I roll a
be able to get
technical warfare? I guess. Gonna see. This is kids like properly doing like isn't just dicking around. This is minimal amount of explosives to just do the job and
absolutely go ahead. I mean this is literally what you do. So go ahead.
Yeah.
You can absolutely
19.
try that. So yeah, technical warfare works.
Yeah. 19, and then after setting up 2 detonators, I'm gonna go back and get into the airlock of our ship.
Yeah, okay. Yes, 19 is pretty good. Okay, so you back up into the airlock, and I assume close the door just in case of rapid decompression.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm gonna set it.
Okay, and you detonate it.
And then I make sure that everyone is there's no one else in the.
Yeah, so everyone's back on the ship. You're in the airlock, and you detonate it. All right.
Let's set it off.
Okay. You all hear a loud bang. A very loud bang. As, something explodes. Probably the thing Kit just blew up. It's hard to tell, because you can't see atmosphere. And as much as you see it in films, atmosphere rushing past, you don't actually see that. You don't see anything when it does. And there's no indicator of whether you've blown a hole in the side of this or not.
Can we check the atmosphere on the other side of
not on the other side of the door. That was sort of the problem you had to start with.
Can we open the doors, and if it starts rushing, can we close it again quickly?
Yeah, you can absolutely.
I put my spacesuit back on, and then I'll check that way.
Well, you guys are on
the airlock there.
You guys are on the other side of the airlock. He's actually in the airlock. You're on.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
just open the doors. I trust myself.
Okay.
Oh God.
You open the doors slightly.
Yeah.
You don't feel the air being pulled out, or sucked out, or rushing out.
And gives a thumbs up back to the people and start heading to the now opened elevator.
Okay. You sort of push yourself, well, I guess step out into the 0G and like push yourself towards it, and you guys see him like swing himself out of view into the elevator shaft. And
I'll take everyone through the airlock.
Yeah, you
head over then.
Cycle through, and you guys make your way over. Kit, as you come down, you see these cables are like kind of drifting. They don't appear to have been under particularly much tension. They were just enough to keep them taut, really, by the look of it. But yeah, you see them sort of drifting, basically all having been blown off. What's happened is it's actually not quite what you were expecting. You were expecting it to have sort of broken a hole through the elevator like roof itself. But what's actually happened is because it severed the cables, and therefore it was completely unsupported, it's just kind of crushed the elevator. And the elevator is just sort of crushed and deformed, like the entire cavern. And you can actually pretty much just push your way past it, because like it's been sort of just blown off to one side. And yeah, you can actually just push your way past it. It didn't seem to be a flaw.
Damn.
Like, you see a bit of a scorch mark and a little bit of, like, there's a few bits of wall. You're like, I probably don't really want to poke that too much. But, it's holding.
Question, what about the cable?
They seem to be, just kind of hanging there, essentially. They're like waving around a bit, but they don't appear to have like sprung back and like done the thing where cables decide to just destroy everything in their path.
Yeah. Also, is there like electricity passing through it?
No, it's a support cable, so it's basically just an iron rope.
Cable, right.
Well,
Just
I think something else.
Is there any
Yeah.
what's it called? Debris in the air, like metal shards, etc.
There's a few little bits, yeah.
Nothing major, or is it like dangerous, or is it okay?
Yeah, you made an explosion in a fucking in zero gravity. There's pieces of metal floating around, but it's nothing dangerous.
Right, so it's something you can walk through without losing your eyes or anything.
Oh yeah, you walk through. I mean, don't fucking knock your head into one, but it's not like shrapnel. Because,
I wasn't sure if it was shrapnel or not.
Yeah, anything shrapnel-y, like, maybe don't run your hands down the wall while you're going past, because shrapnel-y bits found their way into things pretty quickly. Anything beyond that, you're fine.
Yeah, right. Let's head down and see if we can get past the next part.
You go first.
He's already past the elevator.
Yeah, and yeah, you make your way down, and eventually you see like the bottom of the elevator. They got like the big catching spring in case an elevator falls. Bit weird in 0G. They also have one at the top as well. And you see they've also got a set of doors at the bottom.
Yeah. Can we try and open those doors again?
You can, yeah.
Can I assist?
I mean, well, yeah. Do you want to take lead or do you want to assist?
My strength is +3.
You lead.
Yeah, I could also roll it, so.
Yeah. Oh, you rolled it already?
Nah, I couldn't. I'm the same as you. So I'm probably the first one there to try to start opening, let's be honest.
Right, okay.
Well, okay, so do you want to give it a go first then, Hex? Or Kit even? Yeah, okay, then go ahead. Just make a strength check.
He did it, I think. Fairly certain. I mean...
+3? Yes, that's a... What, 24? Yeah. You get down and you manage to just basically leverage the doors open. They seem to come open a lot easier than the ones at the top. And you pull the doors open, and you see a similar room to the one you're in before, but this one seems to have an additional door on one end. It's got the 4 elevators in it, and there's also a larger double door that comes off of it. As you step out into it. Let's go to a combat map. I keep saying combat map. Combat's not guaranteed. It's a map.
I don't like the fact that we're getting a map. That means he's got something planned.
Yeah. Also, he was talking about combat, and also he made the mistake of calling it combat map. So you know.
He said probably, but if I have anything to do with it,
oh,
it's going
sweet
to be a
Jesus
combat
Christ!
map.
Right, this cone of the cone of light thing is new.
Yes, that was okay.
That's where we are.
So yeah, you guys would be sort of
Can you
here.
follow me over?
Yeah. Organize yourself as you would. Yes, sorry, the cone of light is sort of new.
Tom,
Yes.
just quickly, can I turn my RGB-ness on my scythe on?
Oh my god.
Use that as a torch instead.
It's not gonna illuminate much.
Okay, so
Fuck.
Oh, by the way, your orientation doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can rotate your token to like basically shine the torch around.
Also, I like the pixel art stuff. It's
Thanks.
How can I rotate?
Oh, that's
If you click on-
Yargon. Can we please add a bit higher of a cone, I guess? A bit bigger cone for the light.
Oh.
Does Rick just not have one?
What?
Yeah, he does. His just goes into
Lilo, is
everyone
yours
else's.
hand drawn?
Oh, is he?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean this is
well, I can barely see it, but yeah.
Are we
nice.
meant to see other people's cones?
yeah, because it's light from a torch,
Yeah.
so you can see each other's cones. You just it's
Right,
just a thing I want to experiment with for this map, essentially, to
Because
see if
I
it's
can see
something
some
that works.
people's cones, but not others.
That's pretty cool.
Right. Okay. Let me see
I
if
can only see the what?
Yeah.
I can see everyone's cones.
Yeah. I can like I can't
It's also line of
see
sight.
Ray's,
let me.
and I can't see Seraph's.
What do you
There's
mean?
also a line of sight.
Rick's.
I'm
Well,
basically only.
are
Yeah.
you behind the thing?
You're-
Because if you're behind the thing,
Yeah.
you might not see.
Your line of sight still affects it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I still don't know if I see Seraph's.
So-
let me
Seraph,
turn around.
Yeah, turn around.
How do you turn
Oh, I
around
see it now.
again?
So there's if you click on the token, there's like the little blue dots all around it, and there's also a little square above the token.
This is going to be horrible. I can already tell.
Yeah.
Like,
Is there a
I
way
think it's pretty cool.
I just want to see how well this works for like lighting with
can
torches,
you
essentially.
increase the cone of vision, maybe?
Yeah.
I can give it. It's 60. I can set it to 90 if that helps.
Yeah.
So,
I think 90 would help.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
60 is just too narrow.
wait, is there any way to like? Oh, okay, that's. I mean, that's nice. Is there any way to keep buying the rotation of your token, or is there no way to do that?
No, unfortunately.
Alright, that's fine.
That's that's one of the few things why it doesn't.
Yeah. I know. I'm just. Let's see how it works. You step out into a room. Each of these like things that you can kind of half see, I suppose, because dynamic lighting. These are the elevators, obviously.
Are the brown things doors?
Yes. So these are. This is a door. This is a double door.
Right. Oh, that's a double door. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
The like larger bit on each end is like a big hinge, and then it's got a
Right.
glowy bit in the middle because that's where the like hologram for interaction with it is. Sorry.
Right. Is there any writing on the top of the doors, near the doors, that would indicate what the doors are for?
Yes, actually, there would be, and yeah, it would be in Old Delingui by like looking at it.
Oh. Okay. You just kind of see him like glance back and then turn around and then robot sigh. Great. All right.
It's like creaking of butts and.
Right. You wanna
Nuts and
take
bolts.
over here? Yeah. Just.
Yeah, right. Are you gonna?
Right.
I think she's mesmerized by the dynamic lighting.
Yeah. It is a little bit janky, but that's more
is
on
a bit,
just
unfortunately.
Roll20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's better to just have it be like a circle.
Yeah.
Like, especially in tight corridors like this, it's just gonna be us. Like,
Yeah.
It's more of an annoyance than anything else.
Well, I mean, I think I get why though. Like, it is close quarters. It is like you're kind of trying to look everywhere. It kind of simulates it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I want to try it for this map. And we'll basically get feedback at the end of it. If it absolutely doesn't work, once we've like given it a good go, then we'll never do it again. If it does, we will. It's just a test.
Yeah,
Right, that's fine.
Reminder: this is technically a test game. But yes, you see there is a word written above it in Old Delingui, above the sort of exit door, and it appears to have like a control panel on it, but the control panel is like dark. It's got no lights on it, which you would expect.
Can I translate the word?
Uh,
Or try to?
Yeah, go ahead and make I guess an intelligence check.
Oh, perfect.
12.
Nice.
Yeah. You look through your
No, nice. No, still good.
you look through some of the books, and it takes a little doing. It's a word that like you've sort of seen it in a little bit of your like learning Delingui, but it's not one that you've like memorized yet. And so you do have to look through the books a little bit, but it seems to be the word for entrance.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you relay that to the other people, or?
Okay. So it seems like that's the entrance.
What gives you that idea?
Well, it's the Delingui word for entrance, so.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Does it say entrance to something in particular, or just entrance?
Yes.
No,
Liz.
just entrance.
Okay, that's boring.
Let's say hi.
No, really.
Can we have like 360 vision until combat, maybe? Because exploring this, like, it means that you're just sort of spinning the tokens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I say, I want to test a thing, so let me test a thing, Lewis. This is a test game. I apologise. There will be some things like this that are going to be maybe a bit annoying, maybe not. Let me test the thing.
Right. Anyway, where's the entrance on the map?
This one.
I believe this one.
Over there.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Can I go over to it and try and open it?
Yeah. It swings open when you push it.
I'm going to have my blade and my pistol ready, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything is out.
I also have my blades ready and my pistol.
I had my way.
Through then.
I am having careful glances towards Kit, even. Just to make sure if it's a grenade, just to, hold an action to dodge.
Okay, so there's 2 doors.
It might also have have a grenade.
Guys, do we go up or down?
Wherever the captain says.
The captain went down, I think.
I've not went anywhere.
Left or right? Left or right there, Charlissandra?
I'm here. No one knows where anyone is.
It's a new
Where is everyone? It's everyone in the corridor, right?
Yes.
Right.
I'm gonna look
Let's go and
behind
flip
us.
it. Heads up.
I'm
Tails
already
looking down.
Okay.
Or left or right, but yeah, that's fair.
Decision making on the bridge. Actually, the set of doors to the right is bigger.
What's in this? Can we open this door?
It appears to be, by the look of it, it immediately strikes you as an airlock door. It doesn't have a slating or anything, but it does appear to be an airlock door. You can try and, wrench it open if you want, but obviously without power
Before we do that, yeah.
Same thing the other direction.
Same thing.
It seems to be the same thing.
Can I or can Ray put her ear next to the door to try to hear through it? If that's a thing you can do.
You can try and hear through the door if you want.
Okay.
Ray, would you like to take the lead on this since you're
sure,
way more receptive? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a wisdom with advantage then.
Wisdom?
Yeah.
Perception.
Perception. Oof. You don't hear anything through it. It appears to be very solid.
Why not roll perception with advantage?
That is perception with advantage.
No.
She has -2.
Oh, yeah.
Perception.
Never mind.
Wait, do you have -2 wisdom?
Yes.
Yeah, but she has advantage.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Can I try and open it?
That's okay. That's cool.
You can try. Give me a strength check to try and wrench it open. It's
Oh god.
it is an airlock, so it's
Can
a
I
proper
can I
attack.
assist again?
Yeah, if you
Or
want.
can Kit assist or whatever? Doesn't matter.
There
13?
you go.
Okay.
Someone else wants to try.
Guys,
Yeah.
you can select any token and press X to review the last movement.
Oh shit!
Oh.
I was
That's-
looking for a way to possibly rotate the token on a
did not-
keyboard.
didn't
and I
know
found that. Yeah.
The fucking swear to God, the shortcuts in this game.
But yeah, you managed to basically to pull the door open. Obviously it's one half of an airlock, so there's another one just in front of you.
I'll go up to the other one and try and open it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm
Hopefully with
gonna
help.
close it behind him.
In fact, is there a button to try and cycle it?
There is one, yeah.
Can I try the button in case?
You press the button, nothing happens.
Oh
Fair
shit!
enough. I was hoping it was
Close the
maybe
door behind him.
mechanical.
You
That.
can try.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Be a strength check.
Behind her.
Let's. I'll try and open it on 10.
Okay, that just does it. Kit, were you actually trying to close the door behind her?
Yep.
Go ahead and make a strength check.
Yeah.
You did say that sort of before, you also sort of after. Yeah, it's simultaneous.
Yeah.
Okay, 22. Yeah, you close one door. Lexie, Kit closes the door behind you as you reveal the room in front of you, pulling the door open.
And then I'll call. You're dead.
I think if Charlissandra, if Rai couldn't hear through it, we're not going to be able to hear through it either. Maybe just
Yeah, no, over the comps.
Oh, okay.
You step up into a large room, Lexie, that seems to be, it seems to have, again, another airlock on the other side. Also, it has large windows on each side of it.
Okay. What's through the windows?
Well, mostly space, but as you look through the windows, you can see the other side of the station, which you can do, because the dynamic lighting's all set up for that.
Should we get a call back that say that he's not dead?
Yeah. Did you say anything in return to that?
Sorry, what was that?
He asked if you were dead.
Over from Kit. You're dead. Over the comms.
He gets a response of.
He seems to be okay. I open doors.
Okay. Actually, hang on. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay.
You have to wrench it open again. Yeah, okay. You managed to pull the door open. Yeah. I'm trying to put the doors where they're not going to intersect with looking out the window, essentially.
Yeah, I'll go up to the other door and try and open that. I'm assuming it's another airlock?
It is. It appears to be, yeah. Go ahead and make another strength check. 13, yeah, you.
I'm assuming I'm getting help, hopefully, but yeah.
Well, 13 does it. Wrench that door open.
I'll try to help, yeah, of course. I don't actually know what the strength is. I think it's decent.
Probably, because I think you're taller than me, so... Well, I mean, height has nothing to do with strength, otherwise Yargon would be stronger than me.
I have 3 strength.
That is a misconception. You're not.
Can I open this one as well?
You can certainly try.
Barely?
Just about, yeah. Again, wrench over yet another one. This time, it finally leads into what appears to be a long corridor. Well, it seems to curve around the bend.
Okay.
That is the long corridor.
I'll look this way.
Sorry. If the typing is too bad, just say, because I keep on forgetting to mute myself.
That's fine. A window thingy? I don't know what that is.
It does appear to be a window, yeah.
Okay.
This is wall, this is window, that's door, yes.
Is there any plaques on this door?
There is, yeah. There's something written on that door.
I vote to eventually look through the window so that we don't have to look through the door.
Can I go up to the window and look through it?
You can certainly try. I need you to roll initiative, everyone.
Okay. Well, I would have been right there.
I was going to say I'm going into sniping.
Yeah.
I was going. Yeah. Okay.
Well, at this point,
is my cat Lexie just would have walked up and just went, oh.
As you shine your flashlight through the window, I need everybody. It's 3d12 plus your agility.
There's an agility mark. No.
There's no macro.
Oh yeah, macro.
I also thought I had a macro for this. That's odd. Let me pull the macro off another roll 20.
The only macro I have is roll a set.
Yeah, let me pull it off like an older roll 20, because there should be one.
No point rolling them at the moment until we have the macro.
Yeah.
That's also it's 3d12, not 1d12.
Oh, okay.
Should we take a break here, so we can go and get some drinks and shit?
Tom, do you want the macro?
Yeah, can you pass it to me? Yeah, cheers. Yes, we could take a break here if that suits everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go for a break here. We'll be back after the break.